Phoenix Suns forward Dillon Brooks faces a career-defining moment following a recent DUI arrest. The controversial incident has now put his season and future with the team in serious jeopardy. Early on March 6, 2026, Brooks was detained in Scottsdale, Arizona. Though he passed an alcohol breathalyzer test with a 0.0, police arrested him on suspicion of marijuana impairment. The arrest occurred just hours after a team loss, escalating the crisis for one of the Suns' most impactful players. The basketball world is now watching closely. The critical detail emerged that the stop happened around 1 o'clock in the morning. Brooks was initially pulled over for traffic violations on Scottsdale Road. Authorities reported that the stop occurred around 1 a.m. An investigation led to his arrest for suspicion of driving impaired. Critically, the DUI was related to marijuana, not alcohol. A source close to the situation spoke to ESPN-IA. The distinction between substances is a crucial detail for the league and legal proceedings. Brooks received 2 DUI counts despite having 0 alcohol in his system. This fact alone is fueling intense public debate. Bodycam footage revealed officers told Brooks his car smelled like a cannabis dispensary. The details were confirmed by the video of his arrest. Police informed Brooks he was seen swerving between lanes. Brooks countered that the police cruiser had been doing the same. The officer responded by noting the strong dispensary-like odor from the vehicle. More officers then arrived to conduct a field sobriety test. The evaluation involved balancing on one foot and following a pen with his eyes. He was reportedly cooperative throughout the entire process. Brooks was taken to jail and released in about 2.5 hours. His respectful demeanor during the arrest was noted. A widely circulated clip from the footage shows him asking about his Rolls-Royce. That specific comment quickly went viral on social media. This point is key to the entire case. While cannabis is legal in Arizona, driving while impaired by it is not. The law allows for DUI charges if impairment is suspected. State law permits DUI charges for marijuana even though its use is legal. The city's prosecutor's office will decide whether to press charges. The arrest followed a home game for the Suns. The incident occurred in Scottsdale, Arizona, early Friday morning. It happened after the Suns' 105-103 loss to the Bulls. The arrest's timing, immediately after a loss, created terrible optics. John Gamadoro from Arizona Sports 98.7 FM confirmed the details. Brooks was not formally charged upon his release. The suspected substance was confirmed to be marijuana, not alcohol. He was booked, had his mugshot taken, and faced 2 DUI counts with 0 alcohol detected. Prosecutors now hold the next move in this developing legal situation. To grasp the full impact of this event, one must consider his performance this season. The timing is disastrous for both Brooks and the Suns organization. The 30-year-old has been a cornerstone for Phoenix since his trade. Brooks had become a vital leader, known for his scoring and defensive grit. The stats are undeniable. It was a career-best season. His shooting percentage soared. These were simply elite numbers. He completely altered his reputation. Once known as all talk, now he was a legitimate scorer. His performance transformed the team. Phoenix became a huge surprise. A true contender emerged. He arrived via a blockbuster trade. Experts had written them off. Brooks became the new foundation. The team defied every prediction. Their record shocked the league. The coach recognized his impact. He praised Brooks's fierce intensity. Booker welcomed his new partner. His on-court antics were an asset. Then, everything fell apart. A fractured hand took him out. His return date was uncertain. Surgery meant a long delay. Then came the off-court trouble. He found himself in hot water. The team needs him on the court. His eventful season took a turn. He scored a career-high 40 points. He also earned a suspension. That 40-point game was his peak. Then came the injury and arrest. His response to the incident was silence. He just posted workout footage. He offered no acknowledgement, only images of him training. His background explains his journey. It's been a truly polarizing career. He was a second-round draft pick, an unlikely success story, but he refused to disappear. He delivered a record-setting debut. He was always meant to stand out. He was a college star at Oregon. The villain persona started there. His reputation was cemented early. His clash with Coach K put him on the map. Scouts questioned his physical abilities and his character. Draft night saw him fall to the Grizzlies. Memphis is where he made his name. His 6 years there were defined by aggressive play. He guarded top players, a relentless agitator. He earned all defensive honors in 2023. But controversy defined his time in Memphis. A flagrant foul injured Gary Payton II. That play was a series-altering event. His ejection led to a 1-game suspension. Later, he publicly called LeBron James old. He was ejected again for hitting James below the belt. The series became about his antics, not his game. The Grizzlies lost in 6 games. He also punched Donovan Mitchell in the groin. Another incident involved pushing a cameraman, yet his defensive performance remained elite. He was named to the all-defensive second team. He was a top defender getting constantly suspended. This was the Dillon Brooks paradox. The Grizzlies soured on his behavior. He was traded to Houston for $86 million. It was a price Memphis refused to pay. He spent 2 seasons building his reputation in Houston. Then, a blockbuster trade sent him to Phoenix. In Phoenix, he became a team centerpiece. Internationally, he helped Canada win a bronze medal. He was a crucial part of their success. He set a record with 39 points against the US. Now, everyone is asking about his future. Will he be suspended or face jail time? Legally, he faces 2 DUI-related charges. The impairment charge is from marijuana, not alcohol. The case hinges on proving marijuana impairment. A first offense usually means fines and probation. Fines can reach over $2,000. These cases can take months to resolve. The league has a specific process for these events. The NBA rarely issues immediate suspensions. Action is taken after a conviction or plea. Precedent suggests a 1 to 2 game suspension. A guilty plea would likely trigger that suspension. Devonte Graham received a 2-game ban in 2023. Dante Cunningham was suspended for 1 game in 2016. Precedent suggests a suspension of 1 to 2 games for a conviction or a guilty plea. Any suspension for Brooks would only start after he is medically cleared, extending his time away from the court. This is critical because Brooks is already sidelined with a broken hand. The league's disciplinary clock won't start ticking until he is fully recovered and ready to play. The financial penalty is also substantial. Brooks's base salary for the 2025 to 2026 season is over $21 million. Even a brief suspension carries a heavy price, as NBA rules require a player to forfeit 1/145th of his salary for each game missed under a short-term ban. For Brooks, that fine comes out to roughly $145,000 for each game he sits out, which ironically surpasses the standard legal fines for a first-time DUI. The Suns organization reacted quickly, issuing a statement confirming their awareness of the Dillon Brooks situation and that they are gathering facts. The team stated they would offer no additional comments at this point. This was standard corporate procedure. No judgment either way, just an investigation, but the situation is a huge complication. If Brooks is unavailable for games after his hand is healed, it could seriously impact their final playoff ranking. It could also result in them being knocked out of the playoffs much earlier than expected. In one of the most competitive Western Conference playoff races in years, the Suns are in no position to lose Brooks for even a single game. The NBA's anti-drug program must also be considered, as it's an entirely separate matter from the DUI charge. Following a new agreement between the league and the players' union, marijuana use is no longer a basis for testing or suspension. So, under the league's substance policy, Brooks would not be suspended for marijuana use alone. This case is exclusively about the allegation of driving while impaired. He already collected 16 technical fouls during the 2025 to 2026 season, which led to an automatic suspension in February. Reaching that limit put Brooks under intense disciplinary watch, with every 2 subsequent technicals resulting in another 1-game ban. So, his conduct had already put him on the league's radar well before this DUI arrest. A DUI arrest, when added to 16 technicals, numerous fines, and a track record of altercations, establishes a pattern the league office cannot overlook. Right now, the critical point is that we only have a reported arrest, not an official suspension from the league or a verdict from the court. Unless the NBA or Phoenix provides an update later Friday, the disciplinary outcome is in a holding pattern. Now, let's get to the main question. Dillon Brooks sentenced goodbye forever. Is it true? Is he finished in the NBA? Is his career truly over? With the information we currently have, the answer is no. This is not an incident that will end his career. A first-time DUI charge, especially when it's related to marijuana instead of alcohol, and the player recorded a 0.0 on the breathalyzer, isn't the kind of violation that gets you banned from the NBA. It's not even an offense that typically warrants a lengthy suspension. But make no mistake, the repercussions are significant. Brooks will undoubtedly face legal consequences, such as fines, probation, or community service. And if these charges result in a conviction, the NBA will impose a suspension, likely for 1 or 2 games. The more significant problem for Brooks is the pattern of behavior. This is an athlete who has been ejected from playoff games and has punched opponents in vulnerable spots. He's an athlete who shoved a cameraman and amassed 16 technical fouls in a single season. He's been fined repeatedly for his actions, and now he's been arrested for a DUI while recovering from a broken hand as his team fights for a playoff position. Any one of these incidents, taken alone, is manageable. Countless NBA players have received DUIs and continued their careers without any major disruption. While with the San Antonio Spurs, Devontae Graham received a 2-game suspension after pleading guilty to DWI. Dante Cunningham was suspended for 1 game after his DUI plea. These are not career-ending offenses in this league, but the overall pattern is what matters. Brooks is a player who has built his entire persona on being the antagonist, the agitator, and someone who lives on the very edge. There's a good reason his nickname is the Villain. Ever since the Memphis Grizzlies selected him in the 2nd round of the 2017 draft, he has worked to carve out his identity as a tough, no-nonsense defender. That aggressive nature is what makes him so effective, but it is also what makes him a risk. It is a tension Brooks has acknowledged. He once said, "Many wrote me off as just another NBA flameout. I refuse to face retirement or playing overseas. My passion for this sport is everything." His words reveal a drive for constant improvement. He knows the razor-thin edge he's walked for 9 years, now jeopardized by this arrest. For Phoenix, the decision is simple. He is a cornerstone of the roster. He's on a 4-year, $86 million deal, earning over $21 million for the 2025 to 2026 season. With his contract fully guaranteed, a DUI won't get a $21 million player cut. Nor do you trade someone averaging a career-high 20.9 points over a 1 a.m. arrest. The Suns rely on his scoring, defense, and intensity. He has been the catalyst for the team's success. They are lost without him. The reality is, without him, their playoff hopes would vanish. This reality ensures the Suns will manage the legal consequences and support him. They will accept any suspension. This isn't about his career ending. It's about the death of the man he was before the arrest. The player who had shed his troubled past to become a respected two-way force. That reputation was shattered on March 6th, 2026, with 1 year left on his deal. In his final year, he'll earn nearly $20 million before hitting free agency at age 31. His actions now will determine if his next contract is lucrative or if he's deemed too much of a liability. In the immediate term, the path is set. He will continue recovering from his hand injury. Sidelined by a hand fracture since February 21st, he awaits reevaluation in late March or early April. Meanwhile, the legal proceedings will unfold. The Suns will continue their playoff push, awaiting the certain return of their star player. Upon his return, the perception of him from the media and officials will have shifted. Everything will be viewed through the lens of this ill-timed arrest during a playoff run. This is the price, a permanent stain on his reputation, not an end to his career. Brooks will return to the court because the Suns are dependent on him. The league isn't finished with him, but for a player defined by his walk on the wild side, his margin for error has just vanished. And that may be the most significant consequence of all.